It's only 2 rounds into the GRC and already the Pacific TOA have earned themselves a reputation that they are going to be really hard to beat in Season 4. One of only 2 sides with a 100% win record. They put that on the line here tonight against the EXETER Chiefs in round 3 of the Global Rugby Challenge. Hello everyone and welcome back along to your home of rugby in the 3rd round matchup between the Pacific TOA and the EXETER Chiefs. The TOA, like we talked about, alongside the Jaguares, the only team in the league so far to have 100% win record. 2 games, 2 wins. It's so early, yet so many sides have failed to put the wins together. They have had such a tough start to their season as well. New team in the league, yet they've come flying in and they're taking out the All Flakes and the Guardians of the Crib. Some may say not so convincingly the second, but the All Flakes defending back-to-back champions in round 1, the season opener, and they put them away 35-28. Round 2, Guardians come knocking, 14-10, late try winner. We'll see you later, Guardians. The TOA look hot, and today they're continuing on that record of trying to keep it 100% intact. They sit top of the table, of course, with the Jaguares from those 2 games. Their team today undergone a few changes, like every single round, and their starting 15 will be as follows. Starting in the front row, Richard Morgan will be with Shay Gibbons and Sidaleki Kavalu in the front row. Big boys, big power. Hiron Andrews will start in the second row with Zandre Lambrex next to him in the middle of the pack. Moving to the back row, Conrad Femby will start on the blindside flank with the impressive Tama Bailey at open side, and at number 8 will be Fatu Fulafisi starting at the back of the pack. Moving into the back line, the impressive Finn Hansen starts yet again at scrum half against a new partner, and the number 10 jumper Henko Fired will start there alongside Hansen. In midfield again, more impressive players from the last match against the Guardians. Bob Jeffrey, who was phenomenal, starts again at 12, but he's got another experienced campaigner, Dean Mumberg, next to him at 13. The back 3, a bit of excitement, a bit of experience, a bit of everything here in these guys. Captain Jim Aligino returns to his favoured left wing position with Tom Barrett moving out to the right, and it will be Ifalofa Sufa who will be starting at 15 for the Pacific TOA. Looking to go 3-0, unprecedented. Who would have thought that this new team would come into the division like this and take the whole tournament by storm? That's exactly what they've done. Can they continue it on today against the Chiefs? The real question will be, what can this EXETER Chiefs side offer that the other teams haven't managed to do? They sit way down in 12th position so far. No wins from their 2 games at all, but they've had a tough start, I guess. Some may argue the Corn Flakers were the first team they faced. They went down there 24-14, and then they took on Leinster, who really put them to the sword 37-12. 2 big losses to start their campaign. They'll want to bounce back, and if you want to make a statement, you make it against a team who is really rocking the leaderboard, and that is what the TOA are doing. Their team is unchanged from what took on the Flakers and Leinster. Ben Moon, Jack Endell and Harry Williams will be the front row, with Johnny Hill and Tom Price locking down in the middle. Sam Simmons, Matt Kevstich and David Ewers will be the back row. Into the back line, Nick White will start alongside Joe Simmons in the halves, with Sam Hill and Ian Whitten the midfield combination. Tom O'Flaherty on the left wing, the impressive and exciting, the man to watch, Jack Knoll on the right, and of course the Scottish wizard himself, Stuart Hogg, will be at fullback for the Chiefs. An impressive team on paper, but they've struggled to really put anything together here this season so far in the GRC. Will today be their day? It's round 3, and they're up against the TOA. Let's get down to the action. The 2 sides ready to go. It will be the TOA starting for the first time this season in their home kit. Yes, the beautiful blue and white is on their side, as is Oceanic Park for this round 3 fixture, the home ground for the TOA. Up against the white of the EXETER Chiefs as Henko Fired has the ball on halfway and ready to kick off. Referee blows and we are underway. Pacific TOA versus the EXETER Chiefs. And it's the Chiefs who take the ball down for the first use of the ball as well. Great work too from Matt Kevstich to find this ball out wide. The Chiefs really off to a flurry of a start there, and eventually kicked away. Finding touch too. Jack Knoll getting in the action early. What they'll like to see is Chiefs fans, as the TOA hardly even really scratched the surface of getting up and D on that occasion. front of the line out. Andrews throws it down to Fire out runs. Fire out straight through. Thomas Bailey puts out the big fend. Charging his way up to the 10-metre line. What a break there from the South African number 10. They go short side, and it's Barrett. Tom Barrett all alone. Barrett will race to the corner. Toa in. First try. What's going on in the back there? No excuse by Sam Hill. That was terrible. Well, the Pacific Toa start off with a hiss and a roar, as we've seen all season so far. Great take from Richard Morgan, finding Tom Barrett out wide, and he just coasts down the sideline. Poor effort, a terrible effort from inside centre. Sam Hill covering at the back for Stuart Hogg. Who knows where he was? There, buried at the bottom of that ruck, you see 15, and quickly out to Barrett, and there's really no one who's going to stop him. Hogg come racing back late alongside Nick White, but an easy run in there for Tom Barrett, and the Toa are up 5-0, and Fire will have the shot at goal to make it 7. One-way traffic early on after the Chiefs were happy to play territory. The Toa, we've learnt it already this season, they will just run you off the park from anywhere on the paddock. That is what this team is really, really good at, and we've seen a full example of that already tonight. Here is Thayard. He shaves the left hand upright and puts it wide. Well, quite remarkable. We've seen a couple of shoddy kicks from number 10s this season. It's from the subscriber sites. That one, Thayard expecting it to curl back in. The wind was coming from his left side. There was no curl on that at all. Unsuccessful conversion is back underway. We go. The Chiefs kicking down to Femby, and Thomas Bailey 6 and 7 combining, and Tom Barrett is the man to jump in the breakdown. Interesting change of roles there. Back it goes to Sofa, and off the Sofa kicks it long, and it's a quick line out too from Hogg. It's against the run of play there. The Chiefs wanting to get on with it. Here is Dean Mulberg running through the defensive line like it wasn't even there. Gets up to halfway quickly. Hansen runs. Finn Hansen. He's got Morgan to his left. He finds the big boy. Here he goes. Morgan down the wing. Oh, what a sight this is. Richard Morgan scores. And the big loose head prop runs away from an empty stadium. No one in the way there from the Chiefs. And the big Englishman trundles his way for his first try. Well, put this all down to the quick thinking of Finn Hansen. And the great pass, look at him go. He's got the speed of a freight train, which do get quite quick eventually, I guess, but dear me, he struggled to keep up with Hansen. The pass was a bit too in front of him as well. He struggled to hang on, and the defence was certainly chasing him down in a hurry, but Richard Morgan, well played, sir. Great try, great way to bring out your first of the season as well. I'm sure Finn Hansen looked up and hoped that he saw 11, not 1. But the same result was scored. Nick White scooting across pretty quickly there, almost cut him off. Here is Thayard. That time allows nothing for the wind. And that's exactly where she goes, straight between the sticks. It's 12-0 Toa over Chiefs. This one's looking a bit deadly early on here. The Toa certainly much the better side here. Apart from that opening little 30-second stanza, the Chiefs hardly fired a shot. Here is Stuart Hogg getting us back underway again, and it's Thomas Bailey. Offense away, one defender. Thomas Bailey, big run there from the open side flanker. Femby waits for it, and Cavalli was looking, and they're looking for someone to kick away, but Lambrix does it all himself. Beautiful ball to Barrett. Barrett fits by the last defender, and Tom Barrett, oh, he twinkle toes down the touchline, and he'll have a double, an early brace for the Toa right winger. What a little play there from the Pacific Toa. No one getting in their way. 2 tries early for Tom Barrett, but have a look at this build-up. The fend away there. Nick White trying to cover the best he can, but Tom Barrett, excellent work with the fend, and he scoots around next to the uprights as well. I want to go further back to that man, Lambrix, who just, oh, how did he stay in too, Barrett? Oh, such magnificent work on the right touchline. But yes, Zandre Lambrix, great fend. He was the one, they looked up and it was Cavalli. They wanted started to kick for touch to TOA, and they see Sitaleki Kavalu, Zandre Lambrex out of the wings, the two of them on the short side, no defenders, and they chance their arm to TOA. And that is what makes this team so great early on, is their ability to just strike from everywhere on the paddock. Doesn't matter what number's on your back, if something's on, they're going to go for it. The TOA really showing up the Chiefs here, putting them convincingly so far to the sword. This is going to be a big score, I do expect. The first one, too, of the season, because it has been close games and generally low scorers as well. This one could be a bit different. Here is Fenby taking down the kickoff. It's been all TOA. Really has been. Here is Jeffrey going away. Here he is again, Zandre Lambrex. And the big man trundles his way up to the halfway line. Here's Toma Bailey. Toma Bailey through once more as Bailey looks to put on the big play, but he's going to lose the ball there. Great way this time, Hogg. They get out left-hand side. O'Flaherty. Room and finally a chance for the EXETER Chiefs. Salford will give chase, but they're not going to catch O'Flaherty. Try to the EXETER Chiefs. One phase, one chance, one try for the visitors. Well, it was all on there, wasn't it? Big run through the heart of the defence from Lambrex, but he lost the ball, and Toma Bailey as well was the second run. Then it was turned over. Great work from Stuart Hogg at the back, really put in the great, just complete crippling tackle around the bootlaces, left him no choice but to go to ground. No blue jerseys within sight, and to be fair, Sofa actually caught up really quickly on O'Flaherty, but he put the gas down in that last 10 or 15 metres and had just enough to keep away. Sofa's no slouch. We've seen a great exponent of it there from O'Flaherty. This has turned into quite an exciting matchup so far. Tries are plenty. The EXETER Chiefs saying, well, we're not going to beat these guys by playing boring rugby. We've got to get out there and score tries and conversions as well. Great kick there from Joe Simmons. And he makes the scoreline a little bit more respectable. 19-7. And we're ticking on the half now mark. We've already had a pile of tries, 4 in the opening half now. That is really quite the statement made by these sides. We know the TOA love to score, and we are seeing it in full flurry here tonight already. Up it goes, a penalty from Barrett. He squirts it out. Gibbons, we've hardly seen his name. Fire out to Hansen. Hansen feeds one. Oh, Hansen with a miracle offload. That just about worked. But the EXETER Chiefs come away with it. And now they'll run through Nick White's pressure here on. Big pressure on from the TOA. Could be a turnover, it is. Hansen now running as Hansen out to Fayard. Numbers to Burn. Bob Jeffrey. One over. And Shimeli Gino. And the captain scores for the TOA. Simple numbers game as the EXETER Chiefs struggle to hold on to their possession. They dedicated far too many numbers, and from there on out it was a simple numbers game. You see Henko Fire got absolutely smashed. Bob Jeffrey, boy, he has really come on well since moving from the All Flakes to the TOA. A strong commander of this backline now is Bob Jeffrey. You almost give him as the key man of this backline. So good in their fixtures so far. Him and Dean Mumberg in midfield are such a key asset. Experienced, solid, they catch the ball, they pass the ball, and they put players in space. And that is what is giving these exciting back three players plenty of opportunity. And like we know so well too, there's plenty of explosiveness in this TOA side. And you've got guys, Jimmy Gino, Tom Barrett, just a couple there that have scorched away in this matchup. And of course Marcus White sitting this one out, Daryl Gray, Max Hansen from last round. These guys certainly are full of talent, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them leading the try-scoring stakes come the end of the season. Stuart Hogg gets us back underway with a couple minutes left in the half, and Sitaleki Kavalu takes down his first kickoff. Bit of a mix-up there from the Chiefs, something a bit different. As here it is for Shay Gibbons. Gibbons runs into the first. Well, he's a bit isolated here, really isolated. Turned over brilliantly by the Chiefs. Little chip over the top of the chance. Taken by Sofa. And the mark as well. Sam Hill going for the solo brilliance play. But give a bit of credit here to Sofa at the back. He's actually really onto it. Fayard takes the ball and he'll gleefully smash this onto the running track and send the two sides to half-time. An exciting fixture so far. The TOA have wrapped up the bonus points The Exeter Chiefs showing a little bit of what this team can do should they get a little bit more ball as well. 26 points to 7 is the halftime score, but you can see by the stats, especially that top line possession, 74% to 26%. That's one-way traffic, my friends. And if you don't have the ball, you struggle to do much with it. The Chiefs probably done fairly well to get 7 from the few chances they have had. Line breaks, so 6-3. Again, Chiefs with only 26% to get 3 line breaks. You've got to be pretty happy with how they sit at the halftime mark. Big difference now is they need to turn this round at halftime, have more ball, and they can create and finish chances as well. Less defending certainly is something they'll want to be doing in the second half. The TOA, though, they love to run, they love to explode, and we can expect plenty more fireworks throughout this match and the whole season with the TOA in hand. 26-7 is the score, and it's one-way traffic so far in round 3 of the GRC. What do we expect in the second half? More tries from the TOA, a little bit of a comeback from the Exeter Chiefs. We find out now as underway we go, and Tama Bailey grabs the kickoff. And assists there for Bob Jeffrey, who's looking to hack this downfield, and over the head it goes with Stuart Hogg, who canters back to his 22, gets an awkward bounce, but turns it away. Looking down to Hinko Fayard, who runs straight back. Fayard throws a forward pass as well. Just overrun there by the support plate. He saw Fayard look up. He's seen a blue jumper running hard. Here it was. Oh, it was the runner, Dean Mumberg. He just got taken back by the defender. And that credit goes to the tackler for the Chiefs. Big chance there for the TOA to kill the second half very quickly. Great scrum by the Chiefs. Nick White, big double cutout pass straight out to Jack Noel, who kicks cross field. Pressure here on Barrett and Sofa to get back and cover this one. The chase from O'Flaherty was pretty average. Big step there from Barrett looking for his hat-trick. Andrews gives it away to Fayard again, who's really close to the defensive line, but somehow gets his kick away, and Stuart Hogg waits for it at the back. He's got a friend here, and it is Jack Noel. Finds Sam Hill as well. 3 players to the back and 3 defenders. Spot their tacklers. White. Oh, White and Hanson. What a battle we're having here between the 2 little number 9s. Now we go out to the back line. Harry Williams finds the man out, and Simmons and cuts it back to Yendall. The hooker. Oh, what a run there from Yendall. Up to the 10-metre line he goes. And Zach Yendall showing his experience here. White goes back to Price, getting out wide. Now another chance. Samuel getting to O'Flaherty. Femby's giving chase. Conrad Femby. Great chase by the flanker, and the turnover as well. Hanson trying to get a kick away. Oh, it's all disaster for the TOA. Someone needs to slow it down, and it will be Fayard who does so. Tries to keep it in the field of play, but Hogg is nicely covering back. Fayard's the one leading the chase as well, and he makes his tackle. Great work there. The kick is a little bit too deep. They'll run it back. Are they going to run it out? They do. Richard Morgan, of all people, the loose head prop, throws it miraculously out the back door. Big trouble, and Elisino has to save it again. The TOA really don't like being in these situations close to their own line. Now it's Sofa who kicks long, under big pressure here. Hogg running back, gives it off to O'Flaherty. Slipping left and right, White to Noel and back to Yendall. Offload to Plenty at the moment as Simmons this time. Gets a good run forward. Joe Simmons, a dangerous runner as well. Sam Hill to Yendall. Yendall, good pass out wide. O'Flaherty again, running up against Barrett. Barrett makes this tackle. Johnny Hill right there, and he needed to be as well because they were up on that ball quickly with the TOA. Here's a run from Price, an average 1-2 by the big man. Waiting for it is Williams. He goes short to Kipsich, a dangerous runner as well as they quickly shoot it out wide to Simmons. Nice little inside pass, finding Wynn. Wynn goes back to Williams. And the 22 now are the Chiefs, looking for the comeback. David Ewers goes short. Oh, and Simmons is hammered. Joe Simmons getting a big piece of resistance here on the front line. Whitton, nice offload to Hill. Hill gets close. Hill isolated. Hill turned over as well. Andrews doing the work. Cavallo, of all people. Oh, a deft little thumper. And straight to touch, he's gone. Stuart Hogg trying to save it and keep the electric play of the Chiefs alive. But it's not good enough, and the kick away from Sitaleki Cavallo, not bad after all. Givens throws, it's missed at the front, and Filificis goes back for it. He's just given it straight away. That's terrible.
Release.
From the big man at number 8. And it's chance just given straight back to the Chiefs. Hill gives it away to Ewers again, who has another go.
Release.
Toa looking to put pressure on. Hill, away to Moon. Not seen Moon too much in this match so far. The loose end popping fairly quiet. His opposite number, however, has been electric. Here's another round by Nick White.
Release.
And this has been all the Exeter Chiefs in the second half. Their finishing has been found a bit wanting as this time Noel goes out to his left-hand side. They cut it back in and eventually Kivsic takes it to ground. Just inside the 10-minute mark of the Toa side are halfway. Looking more to the left side, getting the outside backs involved, and they do nicely as well. Here's another chance for Witten. Witten up against Barrett. And Barrett covers him into touch. Defensively out wide, the Toa looks sharp. And they've survived another scare, 26-7. Still the score. No additions since the halftime break. Is another missed line out. This time Ali Gino gets the ball away. Here's Hinko fires! Oh, what a run here from the number 10. Fire kicks to the corner, looking for the chase. Here it comes from the Toa. On the left-hand wing is Mumberg. But can't get it back there. It beats everyone into touch, and from the Toa's perspective, that is an extraordinary kick. Looking for the chase, but in actual fact, that was a miraculous kick. Jack Endell throws, stolen by Tama Bailey in the back. Here's Steve Mumberg, racing hard. And straighten hit back. Kavalu plays 9. Conrad Femby, there's numbers out here. Fire onto Sarsbond, and he'll get it as well. How many line breaks have we seen from Hinko Fire tonight? Add another one to the list. He started it all from his own 22. He cut the line in 2, kicked to the corner perfectly, and now he's been delivered the final say in this match. Conrad Femby, sensational from him, but Hinko Fire take a bow. Dean Mumberg, he tried to take them all on. There's a good tackle by his opposite. But Sidleki Kavalu going away to Conrad Femby, then Hinko Fire with the finish. And he will have the conversion of his own try. Very, very well played by the number 10. It's been a great match by the Toa. Exploding in the first half. Not so much in the second. It was all Exeter, but it was defensive work of the Toa that got them this big win over the Exeter Chiefs. 33 points to 7. A lot of tries, a lot of points, but a one big winner. And the end of the day is the Pacific Toa go 3-0. Their first big home clash against an AI side. They have looked so impressive. 4-try bonus point in the bank very early on, inside half an hour. The Exeter Chiefs never gave up though. They really fought hard, but they found heavy resistance in the second half. You can see the change of game plan definitely took effect after half time when you see the Toa coach obviously going, maybe let's not go so all out attack here, boys. We've got a big lead. Now let's keep hold of it. Let's just keep our end tight. They did that. They didn't concede in the second. Their only try they conceded was off a quick turnover that ultimately gave it to a speedster to run to the corner. They looked very dangerous to Toa. They showed a different side that we haven't seen so far, and that was that defensive game. 5 tries to 1, all scored brilliantly, mostly bar 1 in the first half. Richard Morgan picked up 1. Hinko fired, of course. The last try, Jiminy Gino got a single, and it was Tom Barrett on the right wing with a double. 4 out of 5 off the tee from Fire as well. Tom O'Flaherty got the 1 try for the Chiefs, and it was converted by Joe Simmons. Looking at the stats here, and well, I'm surprised that hasn't changed much, to be completely honest with you. We talked about how the Chiefs wanted a lot more ball in that second half, and it kind of felt like they got it as well. But the stats, well, they say otherwise. 75-25 to the Toa. They dominated the whole matchup. But they were under a lot of pressure in that second half, weren't they? Had to kick a lot of ball away. 8 line breaks to 6. The Exeter Chiefs certainly did fight their way back into this game. An exciting matchup for the neutrals, but the Toa fans will be more than ecstatic with how their team has performed under a bit of pressure against the Chiefs. They've come up trumps, a big 5-point win in the bank. And with that 5-point win in the bank, it sees them go outright top of the table now over the Jaguares, who have only picked up the 1 bonus point from their 3 games so far. The Pacific TOA, 3 games, 3 wins, 2 bonus points as well. 1 against the All Flakes, now 1 against Exeter. They are looking hot early on this season. 14 points in total. The Jaguares still on 13. The Crusaders, who have just picked up a win as well, we'll check that out in a second, are on 11. Guardians 10, and the Dragons way back on just 6, but keep in mind, Dragons, Flakers still have a game in hand as they sit on 6 and 5. The All Flakes, well, it's not looking good for those boys. It's down in 11th. 2 losses from their opening 2 games. 1 is 23 points differential. 1 bonus point is their only point of existence so far, but expect them to step it up again as we get through the season. So at the halfway point through round 3, we still have 2 matches to play out, but we can see 4 matches have been done and dusted already. The Guardians over the All Flakes was a match we watched last episode. The Jaguares going up over Clermont. Then we got the TOA today, 33-7 over the Exeter Chiefs. We can see some real difference in the good teams this season and the ones that are probably going to struggle. The Glasgow Warriors went down to the Crusaders. Super Rugby sides really are stepping it up this season, 32-14. Big one there for the Canterbury franchise. Next up, we've got Leinster hosting the Celtic Dragons. That is kind of like another Celtic clash, isn't it? That we've seen from earlier with the Warriors and the Flakers. Round out round 3 up against Toulouse, the side we have not seen in action yet. We've seen Glasgow, we've seen Leinster, we've seen Exeter, but not Toulouse. So really looking forward to what we're going to see from the likes of the Jaguares, the Crusaders, Toulouse, for example. And who else haven't we seen? Saracens, who are looking pretty average as well. I think that is Clermont maybe as well. So a few teams will still go under the spotlight, but next up will be the Dragons versus Leinster. That one should be an exciting matchup, which we'll see the Dragons, of course, on the road for that game as well. So Leinster, home ground advantage. Can they upset the Celtic Dragons? We've already seen the Dragons draw 1 match. Who knows what's going to happen next time. So I'll see you for it, the 3rd match of round 3. Until then, thanks for watching. And of course, don't forget to take care.